You say you want change. You say you want to be different. But let me ask you, how desperate are you? How willing are you to sacrifice comfort to go against the grain of this lazy, self-indulgent world? While the world sleeps, the disciplined rise. While others waste away in dreams of success, the truly hungry, the truly called are already at work. You see, greatness is not built in the light of day where everyone can see. No, it is forged in the darkness, in the quiet, in the hours when no one is watching, between 3 and 5 a.m., when the body screams for rest, but the spirit yearns for more. That's where the battle is won. You want breakthrough, you want transformation, then rise when others refuse. Seek when others slumber. Give when others take, because God has not called you to an easy life. He has called you to a disciplined one. And I tell you this, if you will do this, if you will seek, strive, and labor in those hidden hours, then one day, you will stand where others only wish they could. Discipline is the dividing line between those who dream and those who achieve. It is the fire that refines raw potential into undeniable greatness. And at the heart of discipline lies one of the greatest sacrifices: comfort. The human body craves rest, the mind seeks ease, and the soul is drawn toward complacency. Yet it is in the rejection of these desires that true transformation takes place. There is a reason why so few rise above the ordinary. The cost is too high for most. The pain of discipline outweighs the momentary pleasure of achievement in their eyes. But for those who are willing to pay the price, to forsake comfort in pursuit of something greater, there is a reward that far surpasses anything they could imagine. Between the hours of 3 and 5 a.m., the world is silent. It is in this silence that the battle is fought, not against an enemy outside, but against the weaknesses within. The warmth of the bed is inviting, the weight of exhaustion is heavy, and the temptation to remain in slumber is relentless. But in that moment, a choice must be made. Will comfort dictate the future, or will discipline take control? Sacrificing sleep is not just about staying awake. It is about breaking the limitations of the mind and body. It is about proving that the desire for purpose is stronger than the desire for ease. Waking up when the world sleeps is not natural, and that is precisely why it is powerful. The body resists it, the mind fights it, and yet those who conquer this struggle find themselves gaining something that cannot be bought: mastery over sin. Every morning that begins in discipline is a morning that places distance between the ordinary and the extraordinary. While others are lost in dreams, those who rise are building theirs. In the stillness of the early hours, focus is sharper, distractions are fewer, and the mind is at its peak potential. This is the time to sharpen skills, to grow in knowledge, to strengthen faith, and to refine vision. The sacrifice of sleep is not simply about productivity. It is about training the will. If one can master the simple act of rising before dawn, they can master far greater challenges. The discipline developed in these unseen hours spills over into every aspect of life. It builds endurance in hardship, resilience in failure, and a relentless hunger to keep pressing forward. Many will argue that sleep is necessary, and indeed it is. But what is more necessary is purpose. What is more critical is the commitment to becoming more than what one is today. The body can adjust, but lost time can never be recovered. Every hour spent in comfort is an hour stolen from destiny. True growth does not happen in the moments of ease, but in the moments of struggle. When the body screams for rest, when the mind pleads for comfort, and yet the spirit presses forward, that is where transformation happens. The greatest men and women in history did not rise to greatness by following the path of least resistance. They sacrificed, they suffered, and they pushed through when others quit. Those who are willing to trade comfort for discipline understand that the temporary pain of sacrifice is nothing compared to the lasting pain of regret. The choice is not between sleep and wakefulness. It is between mediocrity and greatness. The cost is high, but the reward is priceless. The hidden hours between 3 and 5 a.m. are the crucible in which champions are made. It is here, when the world is still and the distractions of the day have yet to awaken, that the true test of commitment begins. The body, exhausted from the demands of life, begs for rest. The mind, overwhelmed by the noise of the world, longs for reprieve. But within those still moments lies an opportunity. A chance to rise above the ordinary, to break free from the cycle of complacency, and to choose discipline over comfort. Comfort is seductive. It whispers sweet promises of ease and relaxation. It tells you that rest is deserved, that you've earned a moment of reprieve. And while there is a time for rest, there is also a time for hard work. Work that requires you to sacrifice the very thing your body craves. This is where the true battle begins, not in the grand moments of life, but in the small, quiet decisions made when no one is watching. When you choose discipline over comfort, you choose to elevate yourself beyond the ordinary. You choose to push past the limitations of your flesh and step into a realm where the strong are forged. The temptation to remain in bed, to sleep just a few more hours, may seem harmless, but those extra minutes or hours spent in comfort are costing you more than you realize. Time once lost cannot be reclaimed. The sacrifice of sleep is not merely a physical act, it is a mental and emotional decision. The decision to discipline your body, to tell it no when it craves indulgence, is a declaration of control. It is a choice to be governed not by momentary desires, but by long-term vision. While others are still wrapped in the comfort of their sheets, you are forging a path to something greater. Discipline, especially in the quiet hours of the morning, sharpens focus. The early morning hours offer a unique clarity that the chaos of the day cannot provide. There are no distractions, no emails to respond to, no meetings to attend, no obligations pulling at you. In this space, your mind is free to think, to create, to plan. And in these moments of quiet solitude, your most important work can be done. While the world is sleeping, those who desire success and personal growth are putting in the effort that most will never see. They are reading, writing, learning, strategizing, and developing the mindset and skills that will set them apart. They are embracing the discomfort of growth, choosing to be uncomfortable for the sake of their future. The discipline of early rising trains the mind to prioritize what is important over what is easy. It teaches the value of hard work, of perseverance, and of commitment to something larger than oneself. Success is not an accident. It is the result of countless small decisions made day after day, hour after hour, and the most important of these decisions often happen when the rest of the world is still asleep. The discipline to sacrifice sleep for growth is not just about what you do in those hours, but about what it represents. A commitment to your future, a willingness to go the extra mile, and a refusal to settle for mediocrity. There is a cost to greatness. That cost is comfort. In the early hours, you pay that cost not just with your time, but with your effort, your energy, and your dedication. You trade comfort for transformation, ease for growth, and mediocrity for excellence. And when you make that choice consistently over and over again, you will find that you are building something far greater than just success. You are building character, resilience, and the foundation for a life that will make a lasting impact. The hidden hours between 3 and 5 a.m. are where the foundations of greatness are built. While the world sleeps, the few who are truly hungry for change are already at work. It is in these hours that distractions fade, the noise of the world is silenced, and the mind is given the space to focus on what truly matters. But rising at this time is not easy. The body resists it. The mind fights against it. Everything inside screams for more sleep, more rest, more comfort. And yet it is in this very struggle that transformation begins. Most people live their lives bound by the limits of comfort. They wake up just in time to rush through their morning routine, dragging themselves through another day, always reacting to life rather than taking control of it. They dream of change, they talk about success, but when the alarm clock rings before dawn, they choose the warmth of their bed over the fire of discipline. And that choice, repeated over and over again, is what separates the average from the exceptional. The early hours are not just about waking up early. They are about reclaiming control over your life. They are about proving to yourself that your desires, your goals, your calling are more important than temporary comfort. When you rise before the sun, you send a message to yourself, to the world, and to every excuse that tries to hold you back. You declare that your purpose is greater than your feelings, that your discipline is stronger than your weakness. There's power in those early hours. It is the time when the mind is sharpest, when the world is at its quietest, and when your will is put to the test. It is a time to read, to pray, to plan, to learn, to push yourself in ways that few are willing to do. The work done in those moments may seem small, insignificant even, but over time it compounds. One disciplined morning turns into a week turns into a month turns into a lifestyle, and a disciplined life produces results that no one can ignore. Comfort will always be the enemy of growth. The human body seeks ease, but the soul craves purpose. And purpose is only found in struggle, in pushing past limitations, in doing what is difficult when every fiber of your being begs you to quit. The sacrifice of sleep is not just about getting ahead. It is about training yourself to do what most people refuse to do. It is about building the kind of mental toughness that will carry you through the darkest seasons of life. Many will say that waking up early is unnecessary, that success can come in other ways, that sleep is essential, and while rest is important, what is more important is how you use the time you are given. There are 24 hours in a day, and how you choose to spend the earliest one sets the tone for everything that follows. If you can master the discipline of rising when others remain in bed, you will find that this discipline will extend to every area of your life. You will become the kind of person who does not wait for motivation, who does not rely on fleeting inspiration, but who moves forward with relentless determination. It is easy to stay comfortable. It is easy to hit snooze, to sleep in, to tell yourself that you will start tomorrow. But tomorrow is not guaranteed. The only moment you have control over is now. And if you will make the choice, if you will reject comfort, if you will rise in those hidden hours, if you will do what others refuse to do, then you will become what others only dream of becoming. The early hours between 3 and 5 a.m. hold a power that few ever tap into. It is the time when the world is silent, when distractions are at their lowest, and when the greatest battles of discipline are fought. This is not just about waking up early. It is about breaking the patterns of mediocrity that hold most people back. The willingness to rise in these hours is a declaration, a statement that you refuse to live an ordinary life, that you will not be like the masses who choose comfort over progress. Mediocrity thrives in the habits of the average. It is found in the snooze button, in the mindset that says, I'll start tomorrow, in the excuses that keep people stuck in the same cycle year after year. But those who desire to break free, to step into something greater, understand that change does not come without sacrifice. And one of the first sacrifices that must be made is comfort, starting with the comfort of sleep. There is a reason why few people consistently wake up before dawn. It is difficult. It requires denying the body what it wants. It demands a level of commitment that most are unwilling to give. And yet those who do it, those who rise while the world is still in slumber, find themselves gaining an advantage that cannot be measured. It is not just about the extra hours. It is about the mindset that is developed through this discipline. It is about becoming the kind of person who does not back down from discomfort, but instead embraces it as a necessary part of growth. The early morning hours are sacred. They provide a space for undistracted work, for prayer, for reading, for planning, for physical training. They are the hours where vision is sharpened, where ideas are birthed, where battles are won in the unseen. It is during this time that the foundation for success is laid brick by brick in the quiet moments before the rest of the world even begins to stir. Most people do not fail because they lack talent or opportunity. They fail because they refuse to master themselves. They are enslaved to comfort, to laziness, to the desire for ease. But those who rise before the sun are different. They have trained themselves to push through tiredness, to ignore the voice that says, stay in bed, and to move forward even when every part of them wants to quit. That level of discipline is rare, and it is why so few ever achieve true greatness. The difference between those who succeed and those who do not is often found in the small, unseen decisions. The decision to wake up when others sleep. The decision to train when others rest. The decision to push forward when others stop. These choices made day after day build a person into something unshakable. They create a level of resilience that no setback, no challenge, no obstacle can break. Comfort will always be the easy choice. It will always be available. But those who choose it will never know what they could have become. The ones who rise in the early hours, who sacrifice the warmth of their bed for the fire of discipline, are the ones who will stand apart. They will be the ones who, years from now, look back and realize that every painful, difficult, uncomfortable morning was worth it, because they did not just wake up early, they woke up to their potential, to their purpose, to a life that few will ever have the discipline to achieve. Between 3 and 5 a.m., a war is being fought, not against an enemy outside, but against the weaknesses within. This is the hour of separation, where those who truly hunger for change rise while the rest of the world remains in slumber. It is in these moments of darkness and stillness that the greatest victories are won. The greatest minds, the strongest warriors, the most disciplined souls have all known the power of these hours. They understand that comfort is the enemy of progress, and so they choose to do what few are willing to do. The body fights against it. It begs for rest, for more sleep, for just a few more hours of ease. The mind plays tricks, whispering that there will always be another morning, another chance, another opportunity to begin. But those who rise anyway, who push past the resistance, who ignore the voice that tells them to quit, are the ones who break free from mediocrity. They are the ones who refuse to be ruled by their feelings, who have trained themselves to obey their purpose rather than their comfort. There is something sacred about these hours. The distractions of the day have not yet begun. The noise of the world has not yet invaded the mind. This is the time when clarity is sharpest, when thoughts are purest, when work is most effective. Those who use these hours wisely find themselves ahead of the rest, not because they have more talent, but because they have more discipline. They understand that success is not found in big dramatic moments, but in the small hidden decisions that no one else sees. Between 3 and 5 a.m., there are no spectators, there is no applause, there is no one watching to give recognition. And that is why these hours are so powerful. They test a person's true character. Will they do what is necessary even when no one else is watching? Will they rise when there is no immediate reward? Will they push themselves when there's no guarantee of success? The answer to these questions determines everything. The sacrifice of sleep is not just about gaining more hours in the day. It is about mastering the self. It is about proving that you are in control of your actions, that you do not need to be led by feelings, that you can make the hard choice because you know it is right. Every morning that begins with discipline strengthens the mind, conditions the body, and prepares the soul for greater challenges ahead. This is how true warriors are made. The greatest regret in life is not failing. It is knowing that you never gave your best effort. It is looking back and realizing that comfort stole the life you could have had. That is why those who understand the power of these early hours do not hesitate. They do not wait for motivation. They do not wait for inspiration. They rise every single day because they know that this is what it takes to live a life of purpose. there will always be an excuse. There will always be a reason to stay comfortable. But those who choose to rise, to fight, to push through when others won't, those are the ones who will look back years from now with no regrets. They will be the ones who built something real, something lasting. They will be the ones who proved through their actions that discipline is greater than comfort, that purpose is greater than ease, and that the battle is won long before the sun ever rises. Between 3 and 5 a.m., destinies are shaped in the silence where few dare to tread. These are the hours when the undisciplined remain lost in dreams while the determined are already awake creating theirs. The world does not see these moments. There are no crowds, no applause, no recognition. But those who embrace these hours understand a truth that others ignore. Greatness is not built in the light of day, but in the hidden sacrifices no one else is willing to make. Comfort is always available. The warmth of the bed, the pull of sleep, the whisper of ease. These temptations call out to every person, and most give in. They rationalize their weakness, convincing themselves that they will begin tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes for those who continually bow to comfort. The only time that truly exists, the only time that truly matters, is now. And those who rise in the stillness of the morning, despite exhaustion, despite the temptation to stay in bed, are the ones who will stand apart in the years to come. The discipline to wake up early is not just about adding more hours to the day. It is about forging a mindset that refuses to bow to weakness. It is about proving day after day that you are in control, not your body, not your feelings, not your circumstances. Every morning that begins with discipline is a morning that builds resilience. And resilience is what separates those who achieve from those who merely wish. There will always be those who laugh at this level of discipline. They will say it is unnecessary, that success can come in other ways, that sleep should not be sacrificed. But they do not understand what is truly at stake. This is not just about waking up. It is about who you are becoming. It is about whether you are a person who does what is difficult, what is necessary, what is right, even when no one is watching. The truth is simple. Those who wait for perfect conditions, for the right mood, for the right circumstances will never begin. Those who rise, who push through discomfort, who reject the excuses that others embrace, will be the ones who make a difference. They will be the ones who stand in the future, looking back with no regrets, knowing they gave everything when it mattered most. Every morning is a test. Every alarm clock is a challenge. Will you choose comfort or will you choose discipline? The answer to that question, repeated day after day, will determine the course of your entire life. The battle between discipline and comfort is fought in the hidden hours, when no one is watching, when the temptation to remain at ease is at its strongest. Between 3 and 5 a.m., the weak give in, but the strong rise. This is not just about waking up early. It is about mastering yourself, proving that your purpose is greater than your excuses, that your commitment is stronger than your desire for comfort. Success does not come to those who wait. It comes to those who move, who sacrifice, who embrace discomfort in pursuit of something greater. Every morning that you choose discipline over ease, you take control of your life. You separate yourself from the ordinary. You build a foundation that cannot be shaken. Years from now, when you look back on your life, you will either see the results of your discipline or the consequences of your comfort. The choice is made every single morning. Do not let comfort steal the life you were meant to live. Rise before the world wakes. Push yourself beyond what is easy and become the person you were created to be.